They usually don't take the blacktop in the back. They're heading back towards Buffalo. And,
They go to Brett.
well, maybe they went to Brett. Yeah, but, no, but I met them, closer to Fort City. It was, if they would have went to Brett, they would have come up the loading blacktop. I met them on the east side of Christensen Farms. My nephew is driving my truck, and then when I'm done the meeting, he'll probably still be in line. I got like 25 truck lines there to unload. And I'll probably switch with him, but unload what? Corn. And he met the DOT at the intersection of Woden Blacktop and Fort City Bank Road. So even they're probably with the back roads. But I imagine they're probably looking for, you know, there's a lot of rock trucks that are taking the back roads, so they don't.
I didn't make it to him. I was taking up the search. I was having fun.
I'm sure you were.
12 feet deep.
12 feet deep, what?
My dad's sewer tank.
No.
Yeah. Well, we have to replace it because he's selling.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you gotta put in the leach field and all that stuff, yeah.
Wanted to get that tank in before it rained. In the meantime, one of my renters lost part of her electricity. They get on top of latency.
Yeah, my phone, it just turned 9 now, my phone
It's
does.
9 o'clock right
All
now.
right. We'll say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America,
And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Scott.
Well, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes and agenda.
Motion from Jen Bolton, second from Stenzer, to approve the minutes and agenda as presented. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Number 2, discuss level B road on west side of Linden 25.
Morning. Kirk is here today to represent this item. As you know, we got a letter from him. Well, it's been over a week ago, requesting that the road that passes north and south on the east side of his place be reverted from level B to level A. So I took this opportunity to put together a bunch of background information on our level B system, just in case you haven't seen that yet. I wasn't sure if that's something we'd looked into before. Maybe it'd be easiest just to have Kirk talk through it, and then I'll walk you through the memo and go from there.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys read my letter, but that road, I live on it, my neighbor Lucas Wogie lives on it. We haul about 400,000 bushels a year across that road. It's the most direct route from our place to the blacktop, so obviously that's the route we like to take. Other than that, we get feed. Yep.
You live on the level B road?
I live right on the intersection, so I do have 2 driveways.
Okay.
So, my neighbor Lucas lives directly on that road, and that is one of my driveways on that road.
Okay, all right.
So we haul about 400,000 across it, and then obviously my neighbor Lucas here, he has a growing livestock operation that he can more explain to that, but what I understand, my grandparents used to live where I live. They weren't there in the wintertime when it got changed, and nobody lived at Lucas's house back then. So it was an easy decision to switch it to level B back then. I can see that. Nobody was there in the wintertime, so just not do that. But now there is two of us, so I'd like you to consider anyway switching it back, since the road has been brought back up to level A standards, and Scott can explain that to you. But Blattner's done a very nice job on that road, so.
Yeah,
You would, the gravel wise, it's been brought up to standards, but you still don't get the snow removal, I suppose.
Right, that's the biggest thing right now, so.
Thanks, Scott.
Sure, Lucas, did you want to say anything else on that, or?
yeah, I guess I'm in the same, position as Kirk there, it was, brought to level B, I don't know what year it was, but, it's been, we got a lot of trucks coming in every day, every week, bringing feed, and probably about 1,000 loads a year, come in and out of my place there, so. And it's definitely a lot easier to get the blacktop there and a lot safer, so. We got kids starting to drive now, and a lot less gravel, it's a lot safer that way, and like I say, the big cost of the gravel, Blattner did put 6-8 inches of nice rock on there now, so.
Yeah, you would be driving on less gravel road that way, so you would be tearing up less road.
Correct, yeah, because otherwise we have to go 2-3 miles of gravel with the semis, and obviously more wear and tear that way, so.
So, just to cover the background, this is history that started much longer ago than me, but September 26, 1989, ordinance was passed establishing the level B system. And
Did they get right, excuse me, did they give criteria in the
they
ordinance?
did. Well, it's not in the ordinance. It was in the file though, so they must have had discussions about it. And the criteria was that it would be considered for roads without occupied residences that weren't a mail route or bus route and had low traffic count. It's a little bit vague. Traffic count could be, didn't specify a number. And this road has, in the DOT's traffic counts range from 15 to 30, but those are, seasonal. They don't account for seasonal changes. So, for instance, if they're, if it was grain hauling season, it would be very different, so.
400,000 bushels is at least 400 loads, so that's pretty good traffic.
So they're not perfect, but that's what our,
But we're already exceeding the one criteria.
I know, and then coming back, so there's 800 trips across it.
right, he does have he's two driveways, like he said, so one.
Well, we have really 1.5,
Right,
Yeah,
Lucas actually is on that road.
Yeah, I live on the 110th, so.
On the south side of the intersection,
yeah.
right, this is on the north side, so.
Yeah.
So nobody requires that road for access to their property. But in any case, the criteria that they established there applies to all level B roads that we currently have now, except for there's a few little stubs that we plow from intersections to driveways, that kind of thing. The ordinance also talked about maintenance activities if it's turned to level B, blading on a minimal basis 5 times per year maximum, no snow and ice control, servicing. It will not receive any gravel or rock applications on a regular basis, however, won't let it revert back to a mud or a dirt road. And then maintenance and repair, no regular maintenance performed. So when it was set up, it was intended to be pretty much keeping it from turning back to dirt, it appears.
what kind of burden will this put on you to put it back to level A?
Sure, I'll get to that in a minute here. Then 92 and 2008, several 32 and 53 miles added, so big, huge chunks of roads were switched to level B. And in that time, there's also been several oscillations back and forth to try to get it to today's system, which is about 91 miles and change of level B roads. And through that time, we had, downsizing of our equipment, our personnel, and those and a route or two. In 1989, they cited an estimated $2,000 to $2,400 per mile in gravel savings. Decreased buying power and losses in road use taxes, citing the reasons for the ordinance. Today's dollars adjusted by inflation, that equates to $4,100 to $4,900 per year per mile. The changes, like I said, helped the county realize large savings by eliminating a route, by expanding the size of the routes, because, you know, instead of having all level A roads to maintain, now they have some level Bs that they can give less attention, about maybe 25% of the blading, and you know, of course, they don't get re-rocked from end to end.
Just so we're on the same page, it sounds like grading and gravel isn't a problem. Is that correct, you guys?
Well, grading in the future will be, in a sense.
Yeah,
But right now, it's in good shape because they put a lot of rock on
All
it.
right,
We've gotten
all right.
hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of rock on our roads.
Yep. So then the process for reclassifying level of service of the road from A to B or vice versa, or level C, is by resolution according to the ordinance. So by resolution, the board can switch a road from level A to B or B to A. The DOT suggests public hearings for those, but not required. It appears the county has done some advertising in the papers for some of these larger conversions. So for Kirk's Road here, 110th, for that mile going north from his place, designated level B in 1992, and I wasn't able to find where it's changed at all since then, back or forth between level A or B. This year, Crystal Lake Wind Farm has added, I said 4 to 6, maybe it's a little bit more than that in some places.
Yeah, I think it's 5 foot in some places.
Yeah, you can kind of see the old road bed there, and then it, you know, banks up where they've added rock there. That one's probably one of their best miles right now. They've had some trouble kind of getting out of the mud holes on some other roads, but that one they've done a nice job with. So all the level B criteria, well, I suppose they loosely apply. Not a bus route, school route, no residences that don't have other access. So it still applies.
Just a second, you have access besides 110?
I'm on 110th, but I'm across the intersection
Oh, okay.
by a couple hundred yards.
So
So I either can just continue north, or I have to go east or west.
You actually live on a different level B, right?
Well, mine shouldn't be level B to my residence, right? Or no?
I don't know, it's that big hill road.
Yeah, it's actually blocked.
Yeah.
Level C, I think, actually passed my house.
Yeah, right, past, beyond your house.
Yeah.
Do they plow to your house?
Yeah,
Okay, so
yeah, they
at
do.
least you get that.
Yep.
So most of the miles level C, but we do maintain access to his driveway like a level A road.
Yes.
Yeah, the rest of that road it's really steep and has some really high banks, and
Yeah, that
it's
has.
really never been a high quality road.
I don't remember the last year that was graded even. I mean, it's been a long time, yeah.
So for Kirk and Lucas, they both go 2 miles gravel to the blacktop, kind of both ways, rather than the 1 mile to the blacktop, which would be the level B. So there is,
What would be the extra cost and the wear and tear on 2 miles instead of just 1 mile? You're adding an extra mile with all those trucks. I mean, that's gonna minimize the increase, or, you know, or the county's loss.
I don't have
Well,
that.
being that it's a halfway route for these two guys, are you gonna keep it up gravel-wise in the future?
If it was level A, you mean?
No, if we kept it level B, would you at least keep the gravel up?
You have to, some, these people gotta get to their fields.
But probably one of the biggest points is being able to get it plowed in the winter.
Yeah.
The shortest route to the black.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna get to that, but.
Sure. So one of the benefits to this request now is timely, because this road, even without regular gravel or rock applied to it will be in pretty good shape for a long time because, you know, they got the base built
Yep.
and rock takes a long time to break down.
Some of the stuff they've been hauling in is pretty good sized rock.
It
Yeah,
We started with 1.5
Yeah.
and then they did the whole road with 1.5 and then they came in with 1.25 with fines or whatever since then, twice. Done most of the whole road,
Yeah.
3 times.
so the obvious timely advantages are that, and then it's
So I don't know why-
ultimately a,
So whose place is to the left there?
Is this your place, Kurt?
No,
No, you're on 80th. You gotta go to 110th.
On Mars.
Okay,
You gotta go that way.
this way?
Yeah, there's 90th.
I'm really bad at that.
can I drive?
You sure can.
Can I drive?
You don't have slides to the.
No,
slides
That's
to
part of the
left for a
problem.
Couple miles.
You're now really close.
There's Myring. Now go up. This is where the Jeopardy music comes in. Oh, no, that was that third part. Now you gotta go back down. You're in Hancock there. There's Lucas's.
Right there with that little, and there's Kirk's right above me.
Okay, so the mile we're talking about is this mile here.
Yep.
as
So
you can
it's got,
This is Kirk's place. You can see he's got driveways onto the level B road, but also a driveway into the level A, which goes east and west. And then down here is Lucas's, and he has this whole stub of level A, and then can go east or west on these level
That's
A's.
level A, you just
This is
It's
level A
supposed to be,
to his place, but as you go down here, this road goes down to Thorpe Park, really, really poor, so it's got gates on both ends. It's level C.
so even though there's a turbine, is that the only turbine access on?
This is the only
Correct.
one, yeah.
So really, when we changed the others for turbine access, it should have been designated A at that point, shouldn't it?
Well, for their access.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been, one thing I skipped over, it's been since 2010, but 18 miles were reverted back to level A for hog buildings and wind turbines at that point.
Right.
But since then, that was kind of served as the last call. Since then, we haven't switched any back, even when hog barns are built on level Bs. And we do have 3 turbines planned to be built on level Bs, and we don't plan to revert those either. So we've had consistent direction from the board that we try to keep the level B system the same, even if hog buildings and other things are built on level Bs. And so we have probably dozens of hog buildings that are doing their own snow removal and taking care of the roads that they're on.
We do have
So
a few.
point me in a direction that this poses a negative for you.
Excuse me, what?
Go up on the map, do we have that pointer?
It's probably in here somewhere.
What makes it a negative for you? Why do you want it back to level A when you got that access?
We have to farm, or we have to drive around the section hauling loads, especially in the wintertime, when we don't try to move the snow ourselves and move through it anyway. And we do have future intentions on putting a hog confinement at the half-mile mark of that road here in the next few years. We're looking at putting a hog confinement right here.
Good.
So that would be halfway to the blacktop on that road, so,
Where's the blacktop?
would be right at the top of the map.
Okay.
Or, yeah.
This is your baby.
Well, you know,
Okay,
if you-
so the kind of further,
That was in the email. Look at it, yeah.
so from the road department cost standpoint, hard number to put your finger on, but the 41 to 49 is the inflation adjusted numbers from the original proposal. And I checked those to see kind of what we'd spend blading, how much rock we would haul, be consistent with other roads, and how much time we'd spend on snow removal, and I think those numbers are pretty good. This is a highly problematic road for snow removal, or would be.
Which way?
Going north, the level B road.
Yeah, but going from the turbine that way, going north,
The whole mile.
The whole mile.
It's got a few banks that are higher than the road anyway, you got that.
Yep.
You could really billow in the road and end up being one of those that you might spend a couple hours on if drifting gets real bad like it did kind of later in the winter this year.
Like it is to the west now, so, yeah.
Right, now, our alternative route going this way
It's real.
is really bad right at that intersection, and right there is where Mark rolled the plow last year, 'cause
Yeah.
it's pretty nasty. So, our other options aren't great.
To the west, right west of your place.
Right west of my place,
He,
Tim spent
Yeah.
half hour trying to get through that one last year.
I stuck my payloader last winter trying to get through there so I could get through to do hog chores in the one blizzard.
Right. Right now, the county, if you want to zoom in just a little bit, Scott, you guys have a borrow pit on our ground that you've been getting dirt for free for the last, I don't know, 10 years. So,
Right there in that corner.
right here, that's what this is, for when you're building culverts and bridges. So, in the summertime, when they're doing that, they haul in a fair amount of rock on this road anyway to maintain it, and then it gets bladed real often already. So, I don't know how long the county plans on keeping this one open. I think it's the 4th one you guys have had with us. But,
With no charge?
no charge on the dirt.
Yeah, we don't pay for the dirt.
Just pay for the rent for the ground.
Kind of rent the ground basically.
Well, sounds like we're gonna have to try to come to a compromise here. If we kept it a level B, but came to the understanding that we would keep one lane open in the winter, don't have, if it's level B, then we can keep just one lane open. Would that be fair to you guys?
I guess, are you gonna rock and keep it graded, so the water don't sit on, because that's kind of the hard part of it, the way it was now is, it wasn't kept crowned, so water
Just
sit on
throwing my
it.
opinion in.
Yeah,
It's gotta go through these two guys too, so.
Yeah. I'm not a maintainer operator, but I feel like if he's gonna go down this road and turn around and come back, the expense isn't gonna be a whole lot different just to keep it a normal level A standard. Take the
Once
sides
you
down.
narrow it in, one part of the winter, it's gonna get worse and worse.
yeah.
I
Yeah, it'll drift in easier.
So who farms the north quarter on the west side? Sally Pickett.
Oh, Prohaska.
Garner.
Okay. I was just wondering if there's any way to get some assistance through, leaving 8 rows of corn or something along there to help the snow from drifting, and
Yeah, I don't,
where's the worst part of that mile?
well, it's a high bank right here by my acreage, but it's quite a ways back, so that is where it drifts in some. So a lot of times we blow that ourselves in the wintertime to open it up when we want to haul. And then up along Sally's there'd be the next higher bank, but most of the time you can get through that pretty good, so.
Now, the higher truck traffic and on 2 road miles instead of 1, it makes sense in that way, but the problem we run into is that there are probably a lot of other people that would like to have level B roads also upgraded next to hog facilities, but you guys are hauling a disproportionate amount of grain out of there, which is different than a hog facility as far as I'm concerned. You guys were doing that before the level B road was ever done, so. What's that?
I was gonna say that the struggle for some of the hog buildings is they don't have much flexibility over when they get trucks in, so they gotta bring in feed, I don't know, whatever it is, twice a week or something like that on time. And then when they're ready to go, they gotta get out of there. So, we dealt with a couple this spring that had to haul some of their own rock to fix up the road in order to get pushers out of the buildings. So there's a lot of activity at a hog building, and many of those are dealing with it.
We're hoping, the cost wouldn't be as bad of a burden for the county, with the situation this spring with Blattner's, getting it up to leveling standards rock wise.
It sounds like that maintenance has been taken care of for a while.
Yeah, like I say, I don't
So
think,
what's the main,
it'd be just,
concern that you would have for the next 5 years? Snow or summer?
both,
Both.
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't expect it needing much rock for the next 5 years. You know, the biggest thing would be the snow removal in the wintertime,
Yeah.
I think. You know, if the grader runs it periodically, I think, you know, the rock level will be fine.
Yeah,
Would probably make up half or better the cost is the snow removal. That'd be the more expensive part for the county to
Yeah.
do.
what does it cost to plow a mile? Do you figure on that? I mean, when you divide your costs or whatever, do you know that or not?
Really tricky.
Yeah,
to
yeah.
put your finger on, because you know, like this fall when they were
Yeah.
plowing drifts and spending 3 days trying to
Yeah,
do those,
Very
totally different than the half a day it takes them to make a round if we get 4 inches of plow. You know,
Yeah.
It's really tough. One year's budget to the next can look entirely different.
I'm sure.
yeah, definitely.
Well, I guess, I would probably be in favor of bringing it up to a level A, because why tear up 2 miles of road when we can just tear up 1 in a sense, as far as the trucks have to be on it. So that's
a
gonna,
good point.
that's gonna minimize, you know, the extra cost of the maintenance, because you're gonna have all the same, I mean, you're making, you know, you've got 400 loads of corn going out, you got 400 trips coming back too on the same road, so there's 800 trips on those roads just with their grain, and doesn't count what they do with the hogs and stuff like that, I would imagine, so.
What's a good compromise?
A good compromise. They said their biggest concern is, well, in the summer, that road's gonna be as good as any road we got in the county.
Yeah.
You say that's a compromise, but it's because it's already done, but, in the winter, there's probably no medium between plowing it always and only plowing 1 lane or.
I know we did this for Tweeten in Center Township. Can't remember his first name, he actually lives down by Story City, but, we came in and plowed that road on a necessary basis. And that's before you came on.
Okay, yeah, doesn't ring a bell.
But it's kind of the way.
Is
they
this,
do it
is
now.
this a road that is necessary every day of the week, 52 years, or 52 weeks of the
I
year?
mean, we take it every day.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it's the shortest route, so you,
Yeah.
of course, expect them to take it if it's passable and looks good.
yeah.
And they're, I mean, yeah, they have other accesses, but they're awful darn close to being right on it too, so it's,
Yeah, I would caution you, just so you're aware, I wasn't able to put together a map of all the, I guess I have all the level Bs, but, you know, most of the level Bs cause inconvenience and, force landowners to take even longer routes or
Yeah,
different
but
routes. So that
probably
is
not as many trips on average. I mean,
Like
that's
for
a lot of
instance,
traffic.
Terry, we talked to, Gary Larson.
Yeah.
He's got a bin site where he can take 1 mile level A or 2 miles level B. And, same situation. It's much more convenient to take the level B roads, but they're level B, so when it's wet and sloppy like it's been, they don't hold up very well.
But that's strictly for corn hauling, right? I mean,
Pretty well, he's got a camp route.
it's
there.
not something he uses every day.
It's out there
His
quite
farm is pretty active. It has everything but a house. Got all this, equipment stored out there, and he's got a camper out there, you know, so it's pretty close.
I don't think he's got, as much grain to haul out of there as these 2 facilities probably have, so, I mean, we're talking a much heavier traffic here, I think.
We got a lot of volume is our
He's got a big
problem.
bin site out there too, doesn't he, Terry?
Lucas has a fair amount of livestock at his house, other than pigs, you know, he's got a
Yeah, I
cattle
got
operation.
1,000 head of cattle feeding, manure and stuff are coming in and out, you know, on an almost daily basis. There's a truck bringing some sort of commodity in. So,
So I guess it's kind of hard to put your finger on all those different numbers, but,
Well,
you know, if you open.
we also have to consider the economic activity too, which sounds like it's huge.
yeah,
Um, So,
Well, I guess I would support setting up the next step of considering a resolution to put it to level A because of the factors of the turbine being on there, proximity to somebody that lives on there, shortening the route for moving commodities.
Well, and if there's other cases where there's this kind of traffic where you can take 1 mile compared to tearing up 2 or 3 miles. I'll have to admit, I'd probably be supportive of that also. But I mean, it's gotta be, I mean, this is abnormal traffic from what I would guess. But we'd have to, I guess we'll put it on the agenda.
Yeah,
next
this is
week
just
if we do it.
discussion today, but I guess it'd have to be a agenda item as a resolution. That's what we're
It would, yep. And most of these calls we field in the office, they don't take it to the level of bringing it to the board, and we're able to, you know, talk through what our level B system looks like.
and that cannot be that way here in Winnebago County. That shouldn't be.
For instance, the most
It's,
recent,
it's still their choice that they can bring it to us.
Yeah.
yeah. And for instance, the last letter was to Rich Swanson, who lives over by Buffalo Center, and he lives on. Well, most of the miles of level B, it's kind of like Lucas's, where we
Yeah.
treat the stuff from the blacktop to his place as level A and then plow the rest. And we sent him a letter, giving him some background, and said if you'd like to put into the force, you can.
That one there.
Oh, okay, all right, all
Let
right.
me know.
All right.
And,
See,
Okay.
that one there though, I mean, all he's gotta do is go a couple hundred yards to the west and he's on blacktop and he can go, I mean, I don't think I would support opening that.
yeah, each one has its little
No,
circumstances.
yeah, you answered the question.
Yeah.
I don't think the engineering department should be arbitrarily making these decisions.
We should not be making arbitrary decisions.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
But I have one other one that will probably come to the request there.
I'll have to look at that one, parents too.
You know, and which they all should be. They all gotta stand on their own merits, you know. I would have no qualms. Of course, I'm not gonna run for reelection, but I'd have no qualms turning down a guy in my district that, if I felt it was.
Which is in my district, he's someone I've known many, many years, someone I've gotten along with real well, but I can't say that I would make the decision on that one. I don't think it rises to the level. Yeah, is it inconvenient for him, because he could go straight east and,
We should probably restrict our comments.
We can talk about anything we want.
I know,
or
but this
not.
is about this situation, so.
all right, well,
just,
And it pertains to this anyway, so.
I guess we'll get it on the agenda for next week, and I guess I'm supportive of opening it up to
Yeah.
a level A, so.
okay, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. You guys have a
Thanks,
good day.
you too.
Anything else on this then? If not, Scott Minders, engineer, will discuss secondary road closures.
I don't have anything that's not on the agenda today.
I have nothing.
So the Robinson Bridge was all completed then?
Oh, sure. That was open to traffic on Friday. They got all the seating completed and, barring any thing that comes up, it's substantially complete.
Hey, green seeding stuff that they spray on, I didn't get washed off that easy.
The color you
They
mean?
sprayed the one right out on, by Jim Myring's out there, that, they put in a new one there. I can't see which street that is. Jesus, sat on it several times with Roger. And the other day I went by and I saw they'd sprayed that green stuff all over it, and then today when I went by, it was all gone.
Well, there's a mixture of kind of a cellulose product and then it has a dye in it. So was it just the dye that had washed off?
Maybe, I'm hoping for everything else is still there.
Yeah, I mean, you
But
know,
I would have thought that it would have hung in there for a while when we get up some
I don't think the dye usually lasts very long. It turns kind of a gray-brown color pretty quickly. And- The stuff's pretty sticky, so it
Yeah.
usually does a pretty good job.
Yeah, that's why I'm surprised it was gone, because I thought,
Did we have much washing with the heavy rains that we had?
Not that I'm aware of. Even that bridge project that just finished didn't have any erosion or anything on it, but it was pretty flat there too.
I was hoping that heavy rain would have packed down our roads, but it's still soft out there.
Still soft.
Anything else for secondary roads? Okay, number 4, consider for approval appointment and wage for engineering technician.
Memo that I sent you, and I also sent you some background on on Eric. We took applications and did interviews over the last few weeks, and are excited to have Eric Heithecker on board as our new technician.
have you,
How many did you have?
We interviewed 6 individuals.
have you done any interviews for the other position yet?
Shortly, we will.
Okay.
That's been a little clumsy with the way that the resignation and the retirement came together a couple weeks apart, but hopefully soon.
Questions on this? I'll make a motion to approve the appointment and wage for engineering technician.
Second?
A motion from Derby and a second from Stensrud to approve the appointment and wage for engineering technician. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
How old is he?
Can you ask that?
I can't ask that, so I don't
No,
know.
but is he a young
In
guy?
his 30s?
I would think he's in his 30s.
That's
Yeah.
all right.
'Cause he's already hired, I suppose, yeah, then we can ask. Yep, I'll introduce him to you guys when he gets on board.
It wouldn't make any difference.
Well, I was hoping he'd be younger, but I guess it doesn't really matter how old he is.
Yeah, it's just curiosity, not necessarily
Yeah.
judgment.
Yeah.
You know,
If it could be construed one way or the other, we shouldn't ask it, so.
yeah, I guess.
Julie, how old are you?
No comment.
Us truck
I
drivers,
know.
us truck drivers are always shy about our age and our weight too. We don't hardly ever let that out.
Okay, I think we should move on to number 5. Auditor's office will discuss drainage matters.
Oh, boy. Oh, somebody turned it upside down on me here. They must be thinking I'm getting good at this. All right.
Where's she's good enough to remember? It just made her number 1. It wasn't that wrong.
This is Chris.
We are ready for you.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, just think how things have changed in 30 years. Was that?
I'm not saying one word.
Thanks for class. I hope we had fun.
Hi,
Hi.
Good morning.
how's it
Do you have
going?
anything on drainage?
I have one thing, DD 37 Main. Somebody Secondary Road's got a bill for Brandt tiling. Did you sign for this?
Yeah, I did.
So
It
what,
was just the intake in the roadway, just for inspection.
so are we supposed to just pay the bill or?
Well, that's what, I think I talked to Mark, and he said, no, that they need to just grab one from the shop or grab one from Scoggins. when they do.
I don't get it. I'm sorry.
Well, she originally called and was confused about what was actually picked up. Apparently, they didn't they couldn't read their own notes or something like that about what was picked up. Some things were returned and one thing was picked up. So she wanted to know what was picked up for sure. And then I guess we've been trading around the
It's
bill
just-
trying to figure out what.
What does it show? It's just the first item that got picked up.
Okay, what's the?
And so is Secondary Road supposed to bill somebody or is somebody billing us
In the
or?
road
It's
ditch.
in the road ditch.
So it should be our bill then.
Right.
Okay, we
And,
weren't sure because it says DD 37 and,
But it's where DD 37 crosses the road.
but it doesn't say that. So nobody knew who exactly did what because you signed for it.
Yes, well, from
So-
look at it, and I'll show you. It
She,
says DD 37 Main at 440th Street.
That doesn't do anything for me. And it didn't do anything for Scott because we've both been trying to pass this off and we didn't know.
I didn't ask Mark either. I didn't.
So
we,
Originally, it was gonna be on the north-south road. They found an intake there, and there was still a problem, so they put it on the 440th.
what was the actual item? Was it the top,
The 8-inch intake,
like the orange top, that part?
that's all it was.
Thank God.
So does that help you?
Yeah, I'll call her.
Okay. Because then they can just send you the bill for the intake.
Yeah. The only other thing would have made it easier is if we had a purchase order number on it, like if you called me or Doug or Becky and then put a purchase order, it makes it easier.
Mark just told me. Just
Yeah,
Yeah.
yep.
Okay,
Oh,
now we
that's
know.
fine. Yep.
And this just got missed from Jacobson. It's just their part to do Highway DD3, the watershed, to get that classification done. So it just needs to be signed. And I have all the letters out but one district for June 25th. So that's coming along.
Okay, so that was approved before.
Yeah, they've already done it. They just forgot that, they just forgot they hadn't sent us an actual thing for that, so.
This is good enough to be for Chelsea
That's
set up.
about all I know.
Where's this at?
That's along the Highway DD3 that they did the classification for. He just never had that signed. Yeah, so.
If we gotta do some digging on the state ground to repair a tile, can we just go out there and do that, or we gotta get permission first, or?
Usually talk to the district engineer, don't we? It's in the state right away.
Is it
Yeah, I
in
don't
the
think-
right of way? What kind of state land? Is it DNR, DOT?
Says the state of Iowa.
Yeah, so we don't know. I don't know where it is
So where is
to
it?
know where.
Is it-
It's in the, King one, right in the middle of the section on the North Road. Ron Abels owns the piece that's got most of, there's water standing on the state end
that's
too.
that. I know through NRCS, we've always done it before, bro.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's that one Rugness went up and repaired before,
Okay.
and it comes to the south to the road.
It's not part of DD 29, is it?
Probably is.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess I did.
So that's the one that Lynn Kroll was gonna work on, and then he couldn't, so then I've got Matt Harms going up, so are we talking about the same district?
No, not 29.
Not 29?
Here. Yep, it's what you're talking, I thought you were talking.
That's, this tile actually goes to the north. Goes out of Abels's field.
Yeah, so where are we at?
The lateral.
Ron Amos is right here, and then the tile comes out of his farm and it goes that way.
Oh, on that side of their
Yeah,
watershed.
yeah,
So what section is that again?
that's one, King one. Where is that?
Is this King?
Oh, I'm in.
Oh, you're in the wrong one.
That's why.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not Thompson.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is.
It looks so big compared to Thompson.
Yeah, that-
Right, so it's DD 43 then?
Yeah,
Because that's where it's coming in.
where are we at here? This is King one right here?
No, this is King 1 right here.
Alright, so the tile goes here and then let's go that one.
So it's DD 43 something.
Then reference here,
Rembrandt's,
Rembrandt's here.
that's just on that.
This is where the last repair was. And this is where you're talking. Is it north of the ditch?
Not if it's in section 1.
Oh, that's in section 1. Well,
Yeah,
Ron farms this.
yeah, and it's just right where there's a washout right in the fence line,
Oh,
a blowout, and then the tile goes off here, and it must end up, I would guess, in this ditch. Must
Where
go
does-
along here.
where does this drain?
It doesn't look like it drains in.
Yeah, it looks like it's just.
Unless it,
Well, it's
Well-
gotta go this way to the ditch.
unless it comes
Oh,
along
it's
the
a
road
road.
and then
Yeah,
comes up
yeah,
north.
yeah, I
that
think the
must
road's covering it, because it,
Okay,
So it might be in the road then. I don't know.
well, he seems to think that it's the grass in the state.
Okay, yeah,
Yes.
where we worked before.
which
was
is,
here.
this would be the state ground right here.
This is too.
But we're talking about section 1.
Yeah,
So I
but the problem's downstream from it.
Yeah.
Okay.
They may end up, probably a project will end up being,
So
figure out where
maybe
the
you could do a
water.
petition for me and figure out where it's at.
Probably talk to Glenn Kluger about it first. See.
Yeah.
I don't know, if they're hoping there's an intake along that road that could be checked.
From what I understand, there's not. Well, there might be further down, but there's not one
That's right,
right.
where it heads there, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So Scott,
I haven't actually been out there to look at it yet, so I can't.
can you guys check, on 460th between 120th and 110th? Where looks like DD 43, main tile. It goes down to looks like it goes down to the road and then goes in the roadway to the west and then heads north. You see if there's an intake there to inspect, to see if it's flowing or not.
Okay.
I don't know if there's an intake or not. If there isn't, it'd almost be nice to have one so we can tell if that's flowing.
Yeah, it's,
But to the north would be that wetland acres.
Yeah, you got usually, well, no, usually there's all kinds of different ones, but just have something you can pop up and take a look at them.
Right, right.
Ron said there wasn't one, but I haven't been up there to drive down the ditch and look for one.
Okay.
So.
Well, did you wanna see if you could find something first before I go, or?
I can, yeah. And it's one that we're gonna have to figure out, do some spot digging until you find a spot where the water's flowing, unless we can find a intake to look in.
The fastest option.
I would have thought if there was one, he would know about it, but he
doesn't.
well, yeah, he said he didn't think there was one, so. Intakes are nice, makes it simple.
This looks like it goes probably 800 feet in the roadway as it crosses the road. So hopefully one side of the road, the other would be an intake, so.
try to put those in when we work on crossings so that people can see.
Yeah.
So I'll just wait till somebody gets back with me. Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, basically.
Okay. Okay. Thanks for sharing, but I don't know what you want me to do yet.
Well, there's nothing you can do. I'm just
Okay.
asking a question and all the hoops I gotta jump through. to-
Right. So,
And, it'd really be nice if you would get yourself a backhoe, so you get someone out there, because everybody's
you
busy.
guys won't give me even a four-wheeler, so.
Well, we'll get
I
you,
have,
I know you've offered yours, but
we'll get you a forward, ooh, gee, I better, if I pulled myself, if I pushed the button, I hope I didn't push it.
so I'll just wait till you let me know.
in fact, I haven't driven it for probably 4 months. I should just bring it down here. and
Just
let-
donate it to my
Donate.
cause, yes. Backhoe, I don't think you'd want me to have,
No.
I'm pretty sure.
You can
I'd have to get different shoes.
You don't need your feet.
Oh, that's true.
Well, it doesn't really like mud between your toes.
Yeah, that was the old backhoes.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Alright. So other than that, I think we're ready for June 25th. I am gonna be gone a couple weeks, so if you have any questions, get ahold of Marley.
You get your agreements for all that.
Other than that, it?
See ya.
Alright, thanks.
Thank you.
Consider for approval dispatch and deputy union contracts.
So this is just a reminder, this is what you've already agreed to, and it's just kind of a formal approval thing.
Motion.
Yeah, I'll second.
I have to state that.
We'll have, there'll be actual contracts
Oh.
that you sign later,
Okay,
so don't
just-
worry about it right now. We'll,
we'll still need to say. All right, you seconded it?
Mhm.
Okay, I got a motion from Spencer and a second from Jens Vogt to approve the dispatch and deputy union contracts.
Yep.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
About what?
Let the record reflect it was unanimous. We just don't.
okay,
Consider for approval the canceling of old warrants.
this is what you saw last week.
Give me your number.
Did any of them contact you?
What's that?
Did any of them contact?
No.
I,
We are going to
Hang
put
up,
on the checks,
Look it up and then write it down and call me back.
right after
okay?
6 months.
Good.
and then, and my guess is they've lost them, so. I guess I'll make a motion to, cancel the old warrants.
Second.
Got a motion from Jens Vogt, a second from Spencer to approve the canceling of all warrants that have been outdated. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. This one probably needs to stand.
Please.
Julie Swenson, treasurer, to discuss the possible action canceling. Oh, you got that more.
This is new.
Yeah, this is ours.
There's-
This is
New
the
old
treasurer's funds, yeah. And we have the same problem, that people get their treasurer's checks and then don't cash them. And so on my checks that I just reordered, I put on there void after 90 days for our checks.
Relation.
That's, that should have an E at the end too.
Yeah, it's no different.
Was that
Spencer's.
I don't know.
Stentrude?
It's
Isn't
spelled,
that,
is that spelled the same?
Jean,
Gene's the end, that should have an E at the end.
okay.
Either one of them.
I have no relatives, they're all my relatives are in Canada.
Oh, there, eh? Eh?
And we did try and contact most of them on there, and a couple of them we did get to, get them cash. They were bigger checks, and,
Mhm.
you spend a lot of time trying to catch them and find them, and so we just said after a year, if they don't have them cashed.
But now we're putting 6 months on the ones.
On my checks that I write, it'll be void after 60 days, or 90 days.
20 days.
Void after 90 days. That should give them plenty of time to cash our checks.
Now, are they all going through you, all the checks, or is that just your checks?
The treasurer's checks. Yeah, the
Everybody.
warrants come from Carla's office.
Just wondering.
And they can, talking to Tyler, they can put any kind of language on the warrant checks.
You know, after 11 years, is a warrant an actual check?
Yes. It's just that we talk warrants there and checks with us.
Finally got it.
Well, what's your wishes? Just go ahead and cancel these two.
They've had their chance, so cancel.
Yeah,
Yep, motion.
I'll second it.
Motion from Stansford and a second from Janice Vogt to approve the canceling of old warrants. All those in
At
favor
least
say
I
aye.
did it.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Just need to be stamped.
Julie Johnson, treasurer, to discuss with possible action, public purpose resolution.
yes, I've never done one of these, but I'm
Motion.
doing a resolution. Okay,
Just remember that there's policy about how much you can spend and all
right,
that
it
stuff.
says on there $35 or less, I believe. And that I
Motion.
just kind of did whatever it
Second.
was.
Got a motion from Stansford and a second from Janice Vogt to approve the public purpose resolution. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
I should have made
I think you need to
I
date
should
it.
have babysat it.
We've done
I
this.
didn't know that. Make the handicap.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna walk you back.
21st.
Yep. Me, yeah. Okay, do you need to stamp that too?
No.
No, okay, and then I'll go ahead and take that too, and then I can make copies for Carla. And then Carla, do you need a copy of that? Yeah. Okay. All right,
I actually take the originals because it's a
Right.
resolution.
okay.
Open forum.
And I do.
Any other items for open forum? Do you have anything for the board today, or?
I'm working with the line at the Golden Plains Wind Farm,
Okay.
and I'm gonna be hosting kind of an informal construction updates monthly meeting. And I was gonna invite you guys if you'd like to attend, pretty much end of the month through November. I got some flyers for you.
Okay.
The dates on there.
Good.
Not a very original name, but it's what my boss chose. My name's Cody, by the way. Thanks, guys.
I'll take one if you got it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, you grew up around here, didn't you?
I'm from Gilbert.
Oh, you're from Gilbert.
Yep.
There was another Cody here.
What's the bar in Gilbert?
Flame and Skewer. Open flame.
Yeah.
Is it Gilbert Costco, the school? Or is it just,
Gilbert, just north of Ames.
just,
Not
I
down.
know where Gilbert's at, but.
Yep.
Was there, oh, yeah, that's what
I
you
think
guys were.
that's a place where certain
Spreading
guys
your
and
wings
coaches
and getting out of town.
Yes, very much so. It's changed a little bit since I graduated.
Well, thanks for the information.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, anything else for open forum? Right now, consider for approval semi-monthly county claims. Y'all get a chance to look at them.
Mhm.
Questions on?
Cody, did you know by any chance, and I can't remember her name now, secretary to Earl Bruce when I was at Iowa State, She was secretary to the head football coach for years. She lived in Gilbert. What was her?
I don't think so.
I'm blanking on her name. Well, if I think of it, I'll bring it up when I come over.
Sounds good.
I think it was only 50 years ago, I don't know, I can't remember.
It took him 11 years to figure out a warrant as a check.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I knew a warrant was a.
He's doing better on the warrant.
I was gonna say,
I
yeah.
didn't pay it. I didn't know if they were an actual check or not.
Sue, was it?
What's that?
Sue?
No.
No? That's my best bet.
I'm Scott, the county engineer. Nice to meet you. This close to our county, ready to start.
Pretty much, yeah. Just, pretty much rebuilding all my county roads over there. And see.
Therapist thought I looked really good for only 4 weeks out. I said, well, my body's a temple, so I take care of it.
Anything
He
nice,
laughs.
And here's your copies.
He says, I can see that.
Oh, I know.
South of there, so I just gave him a couple of risks coming up. And the hard was gonna do it, so he's coming directly.
What was that for?
They got a drainage problem, a little over half a mile south of their place. On the west side of the road. The first quarter of the second quarter.
Seems like you might have mentioned something.
Yeah, anyway, he talked to Chris lined up the harbor, but it hasn't been done. So he's gonna show us he went.
Your wrap went up a little higher before it did it?
Oh, no, just.
Oh, the guard.
So they'll tell me doctor was still there.
No, that probably hasn't been stamped yet. I got it underneath my stuff for free. Nope. I'm gonna make a motion to approve submitting the contributions.
On a motion from Jack Stoll and second claims. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We stand adjourned.
Woo, only 1 hour.
Wow, just a little left.
Almost broke the record.
Oh, not even close. The record's about 15 minutes, isn't it?
Willie had one in
Uh,
14, wasn't it?
Oh, we had, I think, a 20-minute.
Yeah, that's the smallest one I remember.
Okay.
Was that the one when Willie was here, or was it, yeah, Willie blew through it like it was going out of style?
Yeah, it kind of makes you wonder, ever since he got here, it's just doubles.
What are you trying to say?
You take your time, you're very,
Your
you know,
stories are very enlightening.
yes, we think they're just,
Well,
interesting, yeah.
there's nothing I like more than sharing my cranial cogitations with YouTube world,
God,
as it's still on.
here we go again.
Unless you're wrong.
Yeah, well,
As I usually put it in as nice a way as I can, that's amazing.
I get a good tip every once in a while, Dan Davis on Facebook. It's fun. I hope he doesn't take it serious.
Dan? No, of course not.
Well, some of his reposts back to me have been kind of in your face, but I just laugh. I'm having fun.
Dan's one of those people, we talk about our scooters
Thank you,
that I have,
Mr. Derby.
and it is hilarious to watch them. We argue back and forth, which one has the faster one, which one has the better one. It's clearly obvious that I do, because mine's about twice the size of his.